A lone Yankee soldier stands atop a monument in the Saranac Independence Cemetery on this 150th anniversary of the Civil War, the conflict that put brother against brother. The bloody war nearly tore the young nation apart. Slavery was a dividing issue. 2015 also marks the tragic anniversary of the cold-blooded murder of President Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth. The tragedy sparked a massive search for his assassin. While this northern area saw little fighting, a large number of young men volunteered to wear the blue uniform of the Federals in the struggle over slave labor.
Each town had a quota, and Saranac's quota, based on its population, was in the realm of 100, 150 people. They tripled their quota. So all of these people were gone, leaving at home the wives, the children, the women, the older people. Those were the ones who ran who ran Saranac at the time.
Many Civil War bodies now lay in area cemeteries. An Iron Star marker tells their story. In their honor, a number of local residents recently toured burial grounds where Civil War veterans rest. Here, the names of Saranac's soldiers and where they fought are inscribed on the only Civil War monument in Clinton County.
Well, we're telling the story of the people of the area and the history of the area. So, for example, we're talking about Lincoln's Avengers. That's sort of the theme of this cemetery tour, because so many were from Clinton County who avenged the death, who captured John Wilkes Booth.
After the assassination, a volunteer search party of 25 soldiers, 5 from Saranac, set out looking for Lincoln's killer. They knew his name, but not his whereabouts. They were on his trail and ended up at the Garrett farm in Virginia. Booth was hiding in a barn. One of Lincoln's avengers said, "Come out," but he didn't. One of the troops spotted him, fired, killing Booth. The famous stage actor, who had once been applauded, now returned to Washington in a body bag, scorned by a shocked nation.
The interesting thing was that their directions were to bring Booth back alive.
Oh.
So they, in some respects, they failed in their mission, because they wanted him alive. They wanted to they wanted to see about the conspiracy, how deep the conspiracy went. And by not bringing him back alive, they had, in some respects, failed in their mission.
Despite the mishap, Kuchar said that the government gave Lincoln's Avengers an award of about $1,600 in $1865, enough money for the upstate soldiers to buy themselves a farm. President Lincoln was not the only one on Booth's hit list. He wanted Secretary of State Seward murdered along with others. Booth had ordered his accomplices to do the ugly deed. A knife-wielding assassin failed inside Seward's Washington home because the mental brace Seward was wearing from an earlier accident. The brace prevented any mortal stabbing. Keela Rogers of Lake Placid is the great-great-granddaughter of Secretary of State Seward. Rogers remembers the home in Auburn, New York, that Seward lived in. She has a buffalo skull hanging over her fireplace that Seward shot.
The house is now a museum. It opened as a museum in 1955. It's open to the public, and there are daily tours, and they do various programs about Seward and Lincoln.
Historian Kuchar said that she would like to see more Civil War history taught in our schools. She said not so much about the battles, but about the people who stayed home and the effect it had on them, so that the cruelty of war comes to life. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack Laduke in Saranac.